If the playoffs were to begin today, Indy, Denver, Baltimore, New England would be in the AFC as division champs, with San Diego and Jacksonville filling out the wild card spots. But we have miles to go, a half season before the playoffs begin. Welcome back to Cincinnati. The San Diego Chargers have won the toss, and they will receive. Number 33 is Michael Turner, standing at his own goal line, set to receive the kick. Kicking it away for Cincinnati will be number 17, Shane Graham. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf, the rest of our CBS Sports crew, glad to have you with us at Paul Brown Stadium. The 4-4 Bengals, the 6-2 San Diego Chargers. This will be Michael Turner, a yard deep in his own end zone. To the 20. And out to the 25-yard line. And that's where the Chargers will go to work on offense. Phillip yards from scrimmage. On first down, LT. Hit the line of scrimmage, forward for a couple of yards. The Bengals play a 4-3 defense. A veteran crew up front, anchored by Justin Smith. 6.5 sacks. He's also tied for the team lead in tackles. At linebacker, another rookie forced into the lineup by injury. Ahmad Brooks makes his 5th straight start at middle linebacker. And the youngster in the secondary, but steady at free safety, Madiel Williams in his 3rd year out of Maryland. We have a penalty marker on the play. Our referee today is Scott Green.
It's a personal foul call against the San Diego Chargers.
There's Marty Schottenheimer, the veteran head coach in his 5th year in San Diego.
Well, the crowd was into it enough just on the fact that they held LT to only a couple yards on the carry. And now with that penalty setting up a 2nd and forever, it's going to give this crowd here at Paul Brown Stadium a chance to get into it loud and early.
Forever in this case is 21 yards. Rivers for Tomlinson. Outside and out of bounds at about the 16 or 17-yard line.
Well, this didn't end up going for a touchdown. This will not end up on any highlight reels. But watch this move by LT right there, as he just puts a freeze on Ahmad Brooks and then buys himself some more yardage on his way to the sideline. This guy has so much talent, so many tools, and wait till you get a chance to look at his stiff arm that has become one of the NFL's best. I'm sure we'll see it as this game goes along.
3rd and 17. Play clock running down. Rivers gets the snap just in time, throws over the middle, and has his man, Vincent Jackson, and Jackson is brought down about a yard or 2 shy of the 1st down.
Boy, the Bengals came. They had 8 guys on the line of scrimmage. Look at everybody up there, and they all come. No zone blitz here, and look how effectively they are blocked by the Chargers, and that allows Rivers to come oh so close to converting this 3rd down. And we've got an injured Cincinnati player back inside the 10-yard line.
And we're going to have a timeout here with 13:22 to play in the 1st quarter. We'll be back. Landon Johnson, the injured Bengal, he is a linebacker, and that's a position that the Bengals are already woefully thin. Delta O'Neal says, let this punt bounce, and it takes a Bengal bounce and out of bounds at about the 38-yard line, maybe the 39-yard line. That's a 27-yard punt. Carson Palmer still. That means that Chris Perry gets the nod at running back. Perry is with Jeremy Johnson in the backfield, and Perry gets the 1st carry. To about the 40. Let's check the Chargers' 3-4 defense. A 79-yard return of a fumble for a touchdown 2 weeks ago. Kenny Watson is now in the backfield on 2nd and 7 as Palmer will throw. With time, throws, has his man T.J. Houshmandzadeh to the 40-yard line of the Chargers and a first down. 19 yards.
I think a lot of Carson Palmer's the troubles that people perceive that he's having is because of poor protection. Look at the protection his offensive line gave there, working against the San Diego zone. Houshmandzadeh comes across on a crossing pattern, and Palmer has plenty of time and plenty of room to step into a throw and deliver the ball.
His mechanics have been the subject of much discussion. He stepped into that one well. First down. The give is to Chris Perry. Perry spinning forward to about the 37.
Well, Rudy Johnson being disciplined by Coach Marvin Lewis is over on the sideline trying to stay warm. You heard when Greg called the first play of the game, which was a run to Chris Perry, the crowd thought it was Rudy Johnson. They give it the Rudy call from the stands. They're not aware of what happened. There's Marvin Lewis on the sideline. It'll be interesting to see how long he benches Rudy Johnson.
Into the backfield, and yet getting a pretty good run out of this is Chris Perry. Then he's very close to a first down at the 30-yard line.
Well, one of the things about confusing yourself is maybe you confuse the defense at the same time. A little unorthodox handoff there, to say the very least. Carson was expecting Chris Perry to go to his other side. Perry went to the one side. Hey, you can't beat the results.
Put that one in the playbook.
on the last page.
Enough for a first down. Palmer with time again. Throws. That's complete at the 15. To the 5. Reggie Kelly, the tight end, inside the 5. First and goal.
Again, Carson Palmer given a good look at the field by his offensive line. Take a look at the protection. This is going to be a good look at the pocket. Both ends get steered to the side. Nobody's coming up the middle. And now Reggie Kelly just working a simple hook pattern in the middle of the field. And Marlon McCree makes a play for the ball instead of the receiver and whiffs.
On first and goal. The give is to the up back Jeremy Johnson for the touchdown.
A little bit of everything on that offensive drive by the Bengals. Carson Palmer and precision passing to different people. A little power running. Some good fortune and a botched handoff ending up in a first down. They had it all working, and now they take the lead.
Shane Graham. 175 for 175 in his career. Point after. Make it 176. Jeremy Johnson, his first touchdown of the season, the second for his career, and the Bengals with a 7-0 lead. Cincinnati Bengals make their presence known right off the bat with a 6-play, 62-yard drive culminating in Jeremy Johnson's 3-yard run and a 7-0 lead. So now, Michael Turner again at his goal line. He'll get to run this one back, this time from the 9. To the 25. And out to about the 28-yard line. 9 minutes, 50 seconds to play. Marty Schottenheimer would like to see his offense get something going. Miss a play, stat, or story with CBS Sportsline Sunday Game Center. Follow every game with lightning-fast scoring and play the hottest head-to-head trivia game on the web, Trivia Tower. It's all free at CBSSportsline.com. Landon Johnson back on the field after a slight ankle injury. Not enough to keep him out of the action, and the pass is incomplete. Thrown to the far side and intended for Lorenzo Neal out of the backfield. It'll be 2nd and 10.
It may have been intended for Neal, but Neal had no intention of catching it because he didn't bother to turn around and look. Lorenzo and Phillip Rivers were not on the same page of the playbook on that pass.
Lorenzo Neal has put in a lot of time and a lot of mileage around the National Football League in his 14 seasons.
He is a rock. both in durability and in his ability to block.
Rivers throwing to this side. Neal, 30, cuts inside and across the 40 to the 42, and that'll be a first down for San Diego.
And imagine getting that as a bonus. His ability to receive and pick up a first down. Take a look at Lorenzo Neal, and if you happen to be behind him, good fortune follows. Look at the 1,000-yard runners that owe a lot to Lorenzo Neal. He's had his fair share of free dinners from some of the elite backs in the National Football League during his career.
See some of the stops he's made. New Orleans, the Jets, Tampa Bay, Tennessee, Cincinnati for 2 years, and now San Diego. On first down, LaDainian Tomlinson, nowhere.
Well, Dexter Jackson came on a blitz from the far side of the formation. He has to chase him all the way across the backfield. Take a look on the left. There comes Jackson, 28. The play's going the other direction, but he had built up enough momentum that he's able to get Tomlinson before he's ever able to turn upfield. Normally, a blitz from the other side of the formation is fruitless. That one paid off.
2nd and 10. Rivers throws out here to Lorenzo Neal, and Neal is going to be wrapped up by Torrey James. Lost ball. Let's see what the call is on the sideline.
It looked like they were going to rule it a fumble, but it looked like it went out of bounds before anybody recovered it. So San Diego's going to keep possession. Let's take a look at the tackle right here. Landon Johnson comes in second when Neal is stood up and he strips the ball. That is a live football, but it rolls out of bounds before Justin Smith can gather it in.
The Chargers actually gained a yard or two on the fumble, Dan.
Yeah, what a job by Landon Johnson of coming in and stripping the ball.
3rd and 12. And timeout is called. Play clock was running down. Phillip Rivers burns a timeout. We'll be back. Back in Cincinnati. Phillip Rivers and the Chargers looking at a 3rd and 12. He has time. Great protection. Now over the middle and finds his man, Antonio Gates, the fine tight end out of Kent State. Medeo Williams there for the tackle, but it's a first down for San Diego.
You called it, Greg, when you said great job by the guys up front. They really gave these receivers a long time. We're looking at Antonio Gates trying to find a soft spot, but that's just way too long. That's almost asking the impossible in a zone like that. Medeo Williams got in there, but just too late. Kudos to the 5 guys up front for the Chargers.
16-yard pickup. First down, San Diego. Now at the Cincinnati 43. The fake to Tomlinson. Rivers on the move, throws, and that's incomplete. Nice job by Delta O'Neal with the coverage on Malcolm Floyd.
Well, that closing by O'Neal, that was all about timing, and he timed it perfectly. And Rivers showing us a little mobility coming out on the roll to the right side. But take a look at O'Neal looking into the backfield the whole time. Now he gets away with doing a 180 going all the way around and coming back, but that was a nice piece of coverage by the veteran cornerback.
Tomlinson, nice little move across the line of scrimmage and down to about the 37-yard line where Ahmad Brooks makes the stop.
This offensive line that works for LaDainian Tomlinson, they're kind of the opposite of the Bengals offensive line, which has been having to do a lot of juggling because of injuries. These guys have been together all season long. They do have a rookie there, 73 McNeil at left tackle, but Dielman, Hardwick, Goff, and Olivier, they are kind of the rock of this offense, and continuity on the offensive line means so much.
3rd and 4. Rivers has it batted up in the air at the line of scrimmage, and it falls incomplete.
Saw a bunch of hands going up at the same time there. I'm not sure which one of the Cincinnati D linemen got his hand on it.
Mike Cyphers will kick. And number 24, Delta O'Neal, is standing inside his 10-yard line. Fair catch called for and made at the 10. 6:03 to play first quarter. Bengals with the ball and the lead when we come back. Johnson makes his first appearance for the Cincinnati Bengals in what has been termed an alarm clock issue.
Rudy was late to a meeting yesterday morning. And
in fact, we saw him stroll in.
Yes, and I'm not sure that it's the first time that Rudy has been late to a Cincinnati function. It might be a bit of a chronic problem.
Rudy, the lone back behind Palmer. And he gets his first carry of the day, and it's a good one. Across the 15, now about the 18-yard line. Let's get our first NFL Today update from New York. JB, take it away.
Hey, Greg and Dan, take a look at Vince Young capping an 8-play, 64-yard drive with this 2-yard TD run to put themselves on top of Baltimore 10-7. Ravens allow only 69 rushing yards a game. They've given up 60 so far. Back to Greg and Dan.
All right, thanks very much, JB. As we said earlier, if those playoffs were to start now, Baltimore would be in as division champ. There's Chad Johnson.
And I guarantee you that every single person at Paul Brown Stadium is keeping a close eye on that Baltimore-Tennessee game. Because they are the hunted as far as the Bengals are concerned, and that's really one of the reasons it made that loss last week at Baltimore so painful for these Bengals, because they had a chance to really close some ground with the Ravens, and they didn't do it.
It was painful for these Bengals in a lot of ways.
Yes, it was.
First down now, and the give is to Rudy Johnson to about the 25.
Rudy's unhappy with himself. He got his feet tangled up. That was close to being a much bigger play. He had a chance to go for maybe another 5 or 10 yards. He's going to start running off to his left here. Now he's going to cut back to his right. And right there, he stumbles over the back of his own player. He stumbles over his center, Eric Gajcek. That could have been good for at least another 5 yards.
Pickup of 2 on the play, and it's 2nd and 8. Palmer, sideline. Oh, what a pitch and catch. Chad Johnson out of bounds at the 42 and a first down. That ball thrown well before Chad Johnson came out of his cut.
Talk about a timing pattern. Carson Palmer is throwing this to a spot, and it's Chad Johnson's job to get to that spot. And that's exactly what he did. Working on Quentin Jammer, going to sell him to the inside. Beautiful move. He turns. I wonder what that feels like to be a wide receiver. You turn and look back, and the ball is 3/4 of the way there already.
Palmer to throw again. Has time. Throws down here. Oh, what a catch by Tony Stewart, the tight end.
Are you kidding me?
Now they're going to talk about whether or not he was inbound or whether he had control.
Well, anybody who can drive a NASCAR on one day and make a catch like that the next day, they're going to give it to him. Look at the left hand, grab the ball. Oh, I don't think that's not going to be a catch. If San Diego is smart, they'll throw the flag.
And the Bengals trying to run a play before a flag comes out.
Right, quick snap it, and they did.
Here's Rudy Johnson. Inside the 30 to the 28. What was interesting about that play by Tony Stewart, I think his body language indicated that he didn't think he came down with the ball and has been both feet in bounds.
Well, you notice that Marty Schottenheimer's not even wearing a headset, so he's got to get that information passed on to him from somebody on the sidelines. That sure looked to me like that was not a catch, that when possession was made, the second foot came down out of bounds.
Johnson and Johnson in the backfield for Cincinnati. Quick pass to the far side. That's complete to Houshmandzadeh. Trying to turn the corner. He has a first down to the 22.
Well, this is an extremely efficient Bengal offense that we're seeing in the first quarter of this football game. Carson Palmer is delivering the football a strike at a time, putting it right where he wants to put it. They're running the ball pretty effectively, and they've got the Chargers defense on their heels.
Well, now the placement of the ball makes it questionable as to whether or not there's a first down or not. And it's going to be, is that enough? That's short.
Again, look at the strike there. And Houshmandzadeh digging for the first down. He gets the stiff arm. That's pretty doggone good work by T.J. Houshmandzadeh. Big, strong guy. And, you know, he's only 6'1", 200 pounds, but he plays stronger than that. And boy, does he play with a passion. And that passion kind of erupted last week when he didn't get the interference call that he thought was coming. And you know he really regrets throwing that helmet like that, because that's not the image that he wants to portray. But he is a passionate guy.
Maybe the most replayed moment of the entire NFL week last week.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're right.
Carson Palmer, 6 out of 6, 99 yards so far. 3rd and inches.
I don't know.
Now we have another stoppage on the field. And here we go. Rudy Johnson, Jeremy Johnson in the backfield. Palmer going to keep this one and sneak for the first down to the 20.
Well, he picked up 2 yards. He needed 2 inches and got 2 yards. What an explosion by the middle of that Cincinnati offensive line.
8 first downs already in this game for the Cincinnati offense. Here's Marvin Lewis, who had a really unique way of firing up this group.
He took the statistics of the first 8 games in front of his team and set them on fire and just said, that's it. Those 8 games are history.
Palmer on the roll, throws, and that's complete inside the 10-yard line. T.J. Houshmandzadeh, 1st and goal, Bengals.
Well, Carson Palmer, talk about feeling it. This guy is delivering the football. Here he is on the run. It can't go any better than that. If that thing had Velcro on it, it would have stuck right between the 8 and the 4 on Houshmandzadeh's jersey.
Cincinnati. They have scored on every red zone possession this year, including once today. The pitch to Rudy Johnson, left side to the 5. Touchdown.
Cincinnati couldn't have gotten more people out in front of Rudy Johnson if they would have invited a few from the stands to come on down. Take a look. We got offensive linemen. We got fullbacks. We got tight ends. And we got precious few people wearing a white shirt between Rudy Johnson and the end zone. That is the old-fashioned student body left.
One of the escorts in front of Rudy, Andrew Whitworth, the rookie left tackle. Extra point by Graham is good. Rudy Johnson had to sit out the first part of this game, made his presence felt. Hey, get complete NFL coverage and follow all the action online while you watch the game with NFL.com's Game Center. It's all at NFL.com. 10 plays, 89 yards, and you'd have to say for the early part of this matchup, the Cincinnati Bengals, Dan, have arrived with a purpose.
Yes, they have, and San Diego finding themselves in familiar territory. You know, their 2 losses, one was at Baltimore and one was at Kansas City. So both of their losses on the road, and here they are in an early hole on the road.
San Diego's defense allows just under 17 points a game. They've already allowed 14 today. A couple of yards in the end zone. Here comes Michael Turner. to the 20. Penalty marker flies as he falls forward to about the 26.
Holding 65, return team, half the distance to the goal, first down.
So this is going to back the Chargers.
Back them up again.
Yeah.
Keep in mind they had a personal foul on their first offensive play of the game that backed them up. Starting in a hole, backed up to their own goal line. They ended up having to punt. Cincinnati scores. Here they go again, backing themselves up and making it an extremely long field.
From the 9-yard line.
There aren't that many 91-yard touchdown drives in the NFL.
LT.
And Chuck Bresnahan, the defensive coordinator of the Bengals, he is bringing everybody. They are jamming the line of scrimmage. There's Chuck, and he is sending everybody in a striped helmet after the Chargers. I don't know what he just called, but chances are it's a blitz. That's what he's been doing so far. They're smothering the line of scrimmage.
Defensive coordinator Chuck Bresnahan.
He is right now.
2nd and 11.
Look at that. There's 9, 10 guys up there you can see in that frame.
Rivers throws far side, and that is intended for Lorenzo Neal. 3rd and 11.
And that's one of those passes that even if it had been completed, that wouldn't have gone for much of anything. There were 2 Bengals right there waiting for Neal to catch it. Now this is where a young quarterback who doesn't have a lot of experience, to punt the ball away is not the worst thing in the world. The worst thing in the world is a turnover. It's a foolish pass that gets intercepted. Play within yourself. Cam Cameron there, the offensive coordinator, I'm sure in his ear say, Phillip, be calm.
Rivers up against it with the shot clock. Down to 1, down to 0. He barely got it off. Straight drop play clock, down the sideline, and that is intended for Keenan McCardell, and the catch is made at the 38-yard line.
Oh, how desperately did San Diego need that? They're going to try to rush to the line of scrimmage to run a play before this gets reviewed. You could see Marty telling Rivers to get up there and run a play. They don't want any interference coming in from the Cincinnati side.
Marvin Lewis just dropped the flag and told the official that he was doing it.
Did he get it in time? He's got to throw that flag prior to the snap of the ball. Here's our first look at it. Well, I don't see if he had his feet down. Does he have possession? Watch him when he comes down. He seems to have the ball firmly there. No, when he lands, the ball comes loose. That's an incomplete pass. The question now is, did Marvin Lewis challenge in time? It had to be prior to the snap.
Well, he made his point to the official closest to him. It wasn't the referee. And the official on the near side came running in, waving his hands as the ball was snapped.
Cincinnati is challenging the ruling on the field that it was a completed pass.
Okay, well, they're giving him the challenge. And I think the question is, even if it's ruled a force out, you still have to maintain possession when you land. And that did not happen here. Keenan McCardell loses the football when he comes out of bounds. That will be overturned.
You know, even with the push, Dan, it appeared he did get both feet down inbounds.
Yes, it did. But you just got to land on the ground and maintain a firm grasp on the football. And I don't think it'll take Scott Green very long to study this.
Let's take one more look.
And I'll tell you that one guy in this stadium who saw that ball pop out, it was Marty Schottenheimer from clear across the field, because he was telling Phillip Rivers, get up to that line of scrimmage and snap the football. Marty was giving him the hurry up deal, and they did. And Marvin he got in right under the wire with his challenge.
So the conversation still goes on. Scott Green continuing to converse with the people upstairs.
Well, they're probably now trying to figure out exactly where to spot the ball back at the original line of scrimmage. There's just no way that that's a completed pass.
Give Marty an E for effort on that one. And this crowd will probably accept the verdict with a great deal of glee.
In ruling a force out, the receiver must maintain possession of the ball all the way to the ground. He did not. Therefore, it is 4th down on the 9-yard line. Cincinnati is not charged a timeout.
Well, Marvin Lewis just got his challenge in time, and he did. You know, even though the ball doesn't hit the ground, even though Keenan McCardell kept it from hitting the ground, he did not maintain control.
So now with 4th and 11 from the 9. Mike Cyphers to kick it away to Deltha O'Neal. Nice kick, O'Neal. In his own 39. Straight up the middle and close to midfield. 53-yard punt, 10-yard return. 17 seconds on the clock for the first quarter. We check in with JB in New York. James.
Hey, Greg, you know all too well that Indy trying to become the first team ever to go 9-0 consecutive seasons. Manning to Reggie Wayne. Nice fade pattern there. 9 plays, 68 yards, 7-3. Hosts, Greg and Dan.
A lot of attention, JB, going to be focused on those Colts as they continue down the home stretch. And Dan, you pointed out their schedule is not all that bad the rest of the way.
I believe they only play one team the rest of the season that has a winning record currently, and that's Jacksonville.
Back to work on offense. Carson Palmer going to throw. Has time. Going deep. Wide open for the catch and the touchdown. Chad Johnson.
Who just walks up and hands the ball to the official. Anybody looking for Chad Johnson to do something in terms of look at me, I think Chad's trying to make a point right there.
Dan, with a receiver with his reputation for making plays, how do you let a guy like that get so wide open?
Well, we'll start with the basic premise that it wasn't on purpose, and we'll work backwards from there.
51 yards on the play. The extra point is good. The Bengals, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. The Chargers on the verge of taking a thumping, 21-0.
Coach, would you agree it's a little hot?
Well, if your name is Johnson, you're doing a really good job for the Bengals today. Jeremy Johnson, Rudy Johnson, and now Chad Johnson have all lit up the scoreboard for the Cincinnati Bengals. At the 4-yard line, it's Michael Turner. To the 20, breaks it outside and has some running room. To the 35, still on his feet, to midfield and out of bounds. Medill Williams made the saving tackle. We have come to the end of the first quarter. It's been all Bengals. Cincinnati 21, San Diego 0.